the play fake. Towards the end zone. Down the middle. Deep. One-handed catch. How in the world?
You have to be kidding me. That is impossible. That is absolutely impossible what he just did. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Morning, my brother. How you doing today?
Man, I feel pretty good, bro. How about yourself?
Hey, I can't complain, man. This is another week of the Destination Fantasy Podcast, week 6 of the NFL. All right, let's get into it. We're going to, I guess, jump off with some news that definitely has some fantasy impact this week. The release of Le'Veon Bell and the new member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Whew. I mean, just from a football standpoint, it's like I've been saying for weeks that offense is an A+. But man, I feel like if anybody that's played Madden, man, I feel like they playing Madden Ultimate Team out there.
Yeah, man, dude, it is so crazy. Just when we think they, pulled out the stops or they lack depth at whatever position they may have offensively, dude, they just keep adding to like this stacked roster, and it's going to be crazy to even think that, like, what if Le'Veon Bell were to get back to those glory Pittsburgh Steelers days, man, alongside Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, that backfield is just ridiculous. We already know what Patrick Mahomes can do, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Like, that offense is loaded. It's like pretty much at this point, it's like pick your poison. Like, whatever you want to do, we're just going to go to like the next guy. So offense is just freaking loaded, bro. It's basically unfair at this point, man.
It is. So, all right. So Le'Veon is definitely not playing this week because they have to go through like a 5-day quarantine process. So I believe the first day he can actually join the team on the field is Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, as of right now, CEH is in your lineup. You're definitely starting them today. Tomorrow when they have their Monday night game. But yeah, going forward, like, I mean, it's bad enough. It's like Thanos getting that 6th Infinity Stone for anybody that's been watching, Marvel and stuff. So yeah, that right there, that's huge news. And Le'Veon, I think in his 17 games with the Jets, didn't eclipse 100 yards rushing. It was just a disaster from the get-go. Adam Gase didn't want him there. Matter of fact, the GM that signed him, he was let go, I think, like a month or two after he got there. So basically, the personnel that was there didn't really want Le'Veon Bell there to begin with.
Right.
And he was, almost dealt last year at the deadline. They was trying to find a trade partner this year. They couldn't find anybody. So, I mean, I believe he's going to come back with some vengeance here. I really do. All right. So, yeah, that's definitely the main news. Won't affect you this week, but next week we'll definitely get into that more. All right. So, injury report here. So, for those that know, last week Dalvin Cook went out with a groin injury in that game. He's not playing this week. So anybody that was lucky enough to have Alexander Mattison on their team and that run-heavy offense, that is the immediate start, without a doubt.
Plug and play.
Yes, sir. So Melvin Gordon, DUI earlier this week. Then also, I guess, got an illness or whatnot, sick. He's whatever the case is, he's not traveling with the team. He's not playing today. Noah Fant still out. Deontay Johnson, he's ruled out with that back injury that led to the emergence of your boy Chase Claypool to be a fantasy superstar last week.
Yeah, and Deontay Johnson being out, I think a lot of teams like to key in up on Juju, was going to open up Chase Claypool. I think Chase Claypool would be a pretty good play this week. I'm not saying go ahead and plug him in if you got like a Chris Godwin who is coming back or something like that. But if you can squeeze him in there, to your flex today against the Cleveland Browns offense, secondary that has allowed the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers, go ahead and give him a nod today.
Yes, sir. And so Leonard Fournette, he's back, but limited snaps. So definitely I would consider other options there. We got DJ Shark. He's expected to play, but they want to test him out pregame, so he's a game time decision.
Definitely have a backup plan there for sure.
Yes, sir. And then like you mentioned, Chris Godwin's back, but also some names of that people really want to see back on the field. Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, even Phillip Lindsay, he's back, so he's definitely should get the bulk of the carries in Denver today. So yeah, a lot of excitement and I guess in regards to players that's coming back here.
Right.
So before we get into our matchups, we're gonna, I guess, touch base on what we saw Tuesday night, this Tuesday night football game. Man, what was your takeaway from this debacle?
Man, my takeaway, I'm gonna just go ahead and start with the the Titans are legit. The Titans are legit, and the way that Derrick Henry runs the football sets up Ryan Tannehill for play action, and we got AJ Brown back. Jonnu Smith has been a beast. Like, all four of those names are fantasy relevant names going forward. They will continue to be. If I'm not mistaken, I would have to double check the stats, but I think Jonnu Smith is second in tight end scoring. He's somewhere around there. But he's been absolutely amazing in a field which is tight ends, which has been very shallow. You got guys like Zach Ertz who have been playing like a third string tight end. So whenever you can get some fantasy production from the tight end position, that's always a must. But this game, it showed a couple of chinks in the Bills' armor going forward. All the way up until this point, I felt like Josh Allen was the unsung fantasy MVP, the way he's been balling out. But he showed a little bit of he showed a little bit of chinks in his armor. He showed that he was a little bit human. Now going forward, I think he still scored like 16 fantasy points. So even up on a bad week for a quarterback, that's still pretty good. But yeah, my biggest takeaway from this game is, man, the Titans are legit, and those guys that are starting in that offense need to be played, bro.
Man, like I kid you not, they officially made me a believer, like a real believer, because I definitely picked the Bills to win this game. Mm-hmm. I was definitely on their bandwagon as far as how legitimate they are. Rather. But shoot, I'm sitting here like Derrick Henry was the only one you could play for the Titans.
Right.
I think AJ Brown was gonna do what he did. I think Tannehill was gonna do what he did. And so I mentioned the corners, White and Norman, and Derrick Henry was like, nah, bro, him out the way. Like, man, turned that man into an instant meme and gift. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be going on for quite some time, man. He like watching that game live. Like I'm sitting there watching it with my son, and we both look at each other like right after he just like tossed him around like a rag doll, one-handed, man. It's just this running back is amazing. Derrick Henry, love that guy, man. He's a great running back.
Man, he is, and it's crazy because he's a better like football player than fantasy player. That's what it feels like. And I mean, he's still gonna get you the touchdowns, and as he progresses, usually when he goes on through the year, he heats up and warms up and does his thing. But man, like he effortlessly just tossed that man and kept it moving.
Yeah, I mean, I would completely agree, as he doesn't add much in terms of of the passing game, considering that he's just completely one-dimensional. So I can see how he wouldn't be as good as the next fantasy running back superstar. But man, in my opinion, this guy is a budding superstar in the league right now.
Absolutely. And then, mentioning AJ Brown, his first game from since week 1 when he got hurt, 7 catches, 82 yards and a touchdown, at least 21 fantasy points in that game. And that's a wide receiver core didn't really have much because of the COVID.
Right.
So yeah, he stepped up, and I know fantasy owners are like it's beyond glad. Like, I can't even think of the word right now. You're an owner of AJ Brown in our main league. So.
I am an owner of AJ Brown in the main league. In the 2 leagues that I am doing the worst in out of my 5, I have AJ Brown and Julio Jones. So those guys been in and out of the lineup. Both of them are playing this week. I'm excited. I'm going to play them no matter what the cost is. Like right now, I got to get those guys into my lineup.
Man, I don't blame you at all. As far as the Bills, like look, their defense has not been what it was last year. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they're ranked in the bottom half as far as fantasy defense is concerned. So I definitely wouldn't, use them going forward unless, matchup wise, matchup purposes. Josh Allen, you still start him. I mean, you take the good with the bad. I mean, that was maybe his biggest knock going into this year, the turnover aspect. I mean,
I think
it happens. So. He's young.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely don't it is what it is. Everybody else, Diggs had a great game. Pretty sure 10 catches over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Man, matter of fact, I was going against my mother-in-law in our Destination Fantasy League, and she had Diggs. I think I was up 25, and she was like within maybe like 0.7 away. If he would have caught something else, I would have lost.
Wow.
Yeah, he balled out. John Brown coming back this week. I mean, the team's still good. They just ran into a team that felt like that was motivated, hungry, ain't been on the field, COVID related. Like, Titans are legit. Bills are still legit too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not taking anything away from the Bills at all.
No, not by any means. All right. So that being said, let's see. We're gonna check in on our, matchups and stuff. So give me a second here. I'll pull up our screen, and me and you, we are in 5 leagues. I think 3 of them we're in the same league.
Yes, sir. So whoop, that is right there, man. And it's amazing how well you're playing right now. Man, that's crazy.
Like I'm a little shocked myself because one of the 4-1, because I'm 4-1 in 5 leagues and 1-4. 1-4 is my work league. And that one, my plus minus is minus 18. So okay. I'm barely losing games. It's just heartbreaking. One of the 4-1s is that 16-team league I've been telling you about. And I picked up Chase Claypool in that league, and I'm definitely starting on the day. But yeah, as far as our main league, which I got up here, I'm going against LexCorp, as in Alex. Shout out Alex, undefeated in our league. He came out the draft projected the number 1 team.
Yep, and he's looking like every bit of it right now, man.
Yeah, no, his team is stacked. Matter of fact, this is probably the battle for first place in our league, to be honest. I got to go against Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. His running backs is probably the weakest link right now, just because of Josh Jacobs on bye because he got hurt. But man, he got Diggs and Robbie Anderson, Robbie Anderson probably been the unsung hero of fantasy football this year.
Man, he's been. You know what? I like to throw. Whenever you say that, I like to throw 2 names out. I like to use for wide receivers. One being Robbie Anderson, second one being Jamison Crowder. Like, he doesn't get enough talent for like the quarterbacks that he has to play with, the bad teams, and no matter what, who's ever on the field, this guy just been nothing but productive. So you got to tip your hat to those guys who are virtually playing like wide receiver 1, so to speak.
Absolutely, man. And I don't know if they can keep it up all year, but man, shoot, I'm all for it if they can. So yeah, it's with me, I'm missing some heavy hitters this week. Kamara, Lockett, Waller.
Oh wow, all 3 out, huh?
Yep, and I got Eckler on IR there, so I'm missing some. No, man, I wish I had a stat my full roster against him, but it is what it is. That's part of the beauty of fantasy football. But I feel like I still got a chance here. I just need my guys to come out and play, especially my flex spot. I still don't know what I'm going to do here because I got King and Drake, who hasn't, like the volume is there, the touchdowns haven't been there.
Yeah,
but I got his backup Chase Edmonds also, who's been major in the passing game and has found the end zone just as many times as King and Drake, and he really don't play as much. So it's like I'm still trying to sort that one out, but everything else is probably locked in and loaded, and just hope my guys come to play and see if I can be Superman to his LexCorp over there. All right, and then we got you against Vic.
Oh, okay. I played Vic this week. Shout out to Lil Vic, man. So, yeah, it's looking like I never really truly pay attention to like the projections. because for a fact he's always been projected to score low points, and he put up 160 points last week to get his first victory. And I got my first victory last week as well, which was much needed and much on time. But sorry, Vic, I gotta take you out, bro. If I go 1-5 here, I'm in trouble. But he Phillip Rivers against Cincinnati. That's okay. Ryan Tannehill at Houston, I'm a little bit afraid for that. Edwards-Helaire at Buffalo, that's Todd Gurley hasn't truly been Todd Gurley,
but he was playing last week.
Yeah, but playing against a Minnesota, defense that has just been, not the same. I'm a little bit weary. He gets Godwin back and Juju Smith-Schuster and Jonnu Smith, Justin Jefferson. So I mean, he got some legit firepower there coming from his receiving core. I think that's what I'm afraid of the most. But on my side, I do get Julio Jones and AJ Brown back this week, who I'm going to need a big game out of both of them in order to be able to win. I feel like my strength this week is going to come from my quarterbacks, which is Kyler Murray and Ben Roethlisberger. I need 20-plus points. Excuse me. Thank you. I need 20-plus points from both of those guys in order for me to, feel good. I haven't really got as much production out of my tight end situation. I've been flipping back and forth. Evan Ingram just truly hasn't been there. Neither has Daniel Jones, considering that Saquon Barkley's been out. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but I definitely looking to trade for a tight end in this league. But again, I mean, I think this one is going to come close. I got a couple of people that plays Monday. He has a couple of people that plays Monday, so it's definitely going to come out to Monday night. So
now I wonder, because I see he got Chase Claypool on the bench.
Yep.
I wonder he might flex that instead of Jefferson.
Yeah. I'm hoping not, but I'm not gonna say, hey man, why you not playing Chase? And Chase is my guy, man. Still the nation stand up, but nah. He can go ahead and keep Jefferson in there. And again, Jefferson made ball. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you're right. All right. So all right, I guess from there, we're going to go to, if my computer will act right. All right, we're going to bring up some key matchups this week. Atlanta at Minnesota. Either one is fine by me, brother. Whichever one you want to take, I'll get the other one.
All right, so I'm going to take the Atlanta side, considering that my guy Julio Jones is going to be back, which I drafted in 3 leagues, and I need him in each and every one of those leagues, all right? So Calvin Ridley is going to be Calvin Ridley. Julio Jones, hopefully he is healthy enough. Definitely going to play Ty Gurley. And I mean, like, the iffy thing here has been Matty Ice, man, Matt Ryan. He hasn't been that Matt Ryan that we have grown to come and love from like a fantasy perspective. So I'm feeling okay with him here because considering that how bad Minnesota has been against the pass. But if you have better options, you know what I mean? By all means. He's not a bad play right here, but, considering the matchup, but I would be a little bit more hesitant to play him this week.
Gotcha. Yeah, this here has a high spread as far as Vegas is concerned, so a lot of points can be scored here. Especially if the Minnesota defense does not show up like they have tended to do majority of this year. Mm-hmm. With that being said, as far as the Minnesota side, Kirk Cousins, you're definitely not starting him in a single quarterback league.
Got that right.
In a 2 quarterback league, maybe, because there is upside there. I guess depends on what offense we see. I mean, we see the run heavy offense that's going to feature Alexander Madison. Then Kirk Cousins upside Barbie is not there. So I mean, I guess it all depends, but the potential is there by far. Alexander Madison, as I mentioned, he's a low end RB1 and definitely has top 5 RB1 upside today just because of the system they're in. And then also how good just from the eye test, he looks good during the times that he does come in and, give Dalvin Cook a breather. I feel like they got a steal in the draft last year.
I think so.
So we're going to see how he's going to be as a feature back here. Thielen, you're definitely starting. I mean, last week he was a target hog. He scored twice. Really good guy. Jefferson. Matter of fact, he could have had a bigger game last week if had a couple of things bounced his way. I'm playing Jefferson as well. I feel like he's a low-end wide receiver too, a solid flex option. So
agree.
Upside, the ceiling is definitely there. So once again, I believe the spread on this game is either 54.5 or 55.5. So we probably gonna be seeing a lot of points here if everything goes as planned.
I can see that.
By far. So all right, the next one we're gonna get into Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take Cleveland. Leave you to your Steeler Nation there.
All right, man. So Steeler Nation, stand up. This is gonna be the first true test. I feel like for us, going here in like the early going of this season. So Cleveland has been great. Not taking anything away from them. But we got to come out here and get this game won. I think it'll give us like the stamp. So you're definitely gonna play Connor. You're gonna play all those guys. You're gonna play Claypool. You're gonna play Juju. You know what I mean? Juju is a strong wide receiver too. In this matchup, Claypool is like making a case for a strong wide receiver too, but definitely a solid flex play in this one. James Conner back in RB1 to strong RB2. I'm gonna say Ben Roethlisberger is a solid back end QB1 in this matchup. Anybody outside of those guys, I would be a little bit weary. Eric Ebron has potential, especially in deeper leagues there. But anyone else outside of that, I would probably steer clear for him. But Steeler Nation, stand up. We got to get the dub today. Here we go.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be on one of the games I really want to see today by far. As far as the Cleveland side, Baker Mayfield, I guess he was sick a couple of days ago. He's playing. Man, that Steelers defense is still strong, even though they gave up a lot of points last week to Carson Wentz and that depleted wide receiver core of the Eagles.
Don't remember.
But still, that team is that defense is strong. So I feel like there are 10 to 12 quarterbacks better than Baker Mayfield. 2 quarterback league, why not? But 1 quarterback, 10, 12, I wouldn't. Kareem Hunt, I've been saying it this whole time. He is a top 5 running back.
Absolutely.
Chubb, plug and play, baby. That's it. Keep him in your lineup. Giving all the love to Kareem Hunt here. The volume is there. The in between the tackles, the receiving. I mean, he's a 3-down back. I know what's his name, Dearness Johnson. He'll get a couple of ticks in there, but this is the Kareem Hunt show going forward. Wide receivers, Beckham, he was sent home with an illness as well. He's playing. Jarvis Landry's playing. Like I know that defense is tough, but I feel like the way that the Browns are playing lately, we might see a little bit more consistency out the wide receivers now. So Odell Beckham, he's a solid wide receiver too. I think he has borderline wide receiver 1 upside this week. Landry, I think he's more of a strong flex play, in my opinion. Hooper. I think he'll get a little consideration here. I think your defense is the middle of the pack against tight ends, but
I think so. Yep.
So I mean, DFS, deeper leagues, there is some value there, but nevertheless, I think this matchup was a little higher on the line spread as well. So definitely, from a football standpoint, it's going to be fun to watch for sure. All right, we're going to get into this next one here. Now, this here is, you might as well call this the heavyweight fight in some people's eyes. Green Bay, Tampa. You got 2 legendary quarterbacks going toe-to-toe, and there's definitely some fantasy upside here. All right, take who you want, man.
Man, you know what? I'm going to take the Green Bay side, man, because a lot of people, just like Aaron Rodgers said, put some respect on that man's name. Some of his worst games are a good quarterback's best games. Like, that's what he flat out said. So a lot of people thought he was washed. You know what I mean? But Aaron Rodgers has looking like I don't know, like he's caught like a second win, and especially with him getting Devontae Adams back this week against this matchup, man, he was really really close to playing last week, so it was no doubt in my mind that Adams was going to suit up for this one. So Aaron Jones has been great. He's going to be a player that you're going to play. Robert Tonyan, let's talk about him for a second. It's a couple of tight ends that are on bye this week. Like I know you mentioned Darren Waller, right? So yeah. I actually have Darren Waller, and on the bench I have Robert Tonyan. I'm going to play Tonyan this week until this guy slows up. You know what I mean? I'm just going to go ahead and keep him inside the lineup, especially this week, considering that Waller is on a bye. Tonyan is a name that, I think a lot of people can go ahead and pick up from like the waiver wire. I think he's still there. So that'll be a pretty good play as well. Him and Rodgers have just this connection going on right now. So hopefully it can continue this week because I am playing this guy. But definitely, Tonyan is a great play.
Let me ask you this, because there's going to be some people that's probably wondering the same thing. Mm-hmm. Now, with Devontae Adams coming back, what, in your opinion, how you think that may affect Tonyan?
I mean, I think it's gonna affect him a lot because Adams is such he has a massive share of the targets for that team, but at the same time, in a game which I think this one is going to be a pew shootout. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a shootout. I think all the looks can't go toward Adams' way, and the next consistent receiver on that team has been Tonyan. So I think he's going to do fairly well in this matchup, but I do think Devontae Adams will ball out in this one.
Fair enough. And Tampa's defense can be had. Allen Robinson had a pretty good game.
Great game.
And Devontae Adams' talent level is equal, if not a little bit better than his. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, look, Green Bay's defense has been very, very bad at times. But their offense has been very strong. Tom Brady, you start him. I feel like he's a solid QB1 this week. Leonard Fournette, he's playing limited snaps, so I wouldn't risk it at all. And anytime that they say a player is playing but has limited snaps, if they tell you that up front, that thank them for letting you know.
Right.
Because you know what? I remember last year. Who was that? I had David Johnson in our main league, and it was against the Giants, and they said he was playing. There was no indication that he wasn't going to sit. So he played 3 plays, the first 3 plays of the game, didn't play at all. Chase Edmonds went off for 3 touchdowns. And we were sitting here like,
what the heck's going on? Yeah.
Exactly. So be thankful they tell you about Leonard Fournette. So this year, if you used to play a running back, it had to be Ronald Jones. I feel like he's in this one, maybe a low-end RB2 flex option here.
I agree. I think the last couple of games he rushed for over 100 yards. I'm not sure if he scored in any of them, but on the ground, he's looking fairly well. I think you'll see a lot of Rojo in this one.
Absolutely. Wide receivers, Tom Brady is glad to have Chris Godwin back. As a fantasy owner of Chris Godwin, I am glad to have him back. He should have a great game. Mike Evans should have a great game. Both of these guys are fringe wide receiver 1s, strong wide receiver 2s. There's a lot of upside in this game for them. Cameron Brate, I feel like he's been solid.
He really has.
I mean, I know Gronk last week, due to a lot of people being out, he, probably had the best game of his Bucks career thus far, but I wouldn't start him.
Steer clear.
Until I see some consistency there. At this point, he's just more so of a blocking tight end for them, for the most part, just doing the little work to get the job done for the Bucks. But nevertheless, this here has a potential to be a great shootout, and then 2 great quarterbacks. I feel like both of them going to definitely come in and give it their best, just because they're going against each other.
Great.
So yeah, and that's the afternoon game, 3:25 Central, 4:25 Eastern. And we're gonna we got 2 Monday night games this week, man.
Yep.
I guess that's the silver lining to these schedule changes. Like we getting some unprecedented schedules, a lot of unorthodox things. I'm enjoying it just from a football standpoint. Kansas City at Buffalo. I think they have an early Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it's 4:00. If I'm, yeah, I believe that is the 4:00 game. Is it 4:00? Yeah, let me double check.
Yeah, 4 Central.
Tomorrow. Okay, yeah, thought so.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Kansas City side really quick.
Okay.
All right, so Mahomes, we just can't say enough. You know, you already know what to do with Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
CEH, there is no Le'Veon Bell this week. You're playing CEH. Buffalo's defense has been a disappointment thus far this year. Anybody that spent the premium on them in the draft, not getting your return on investment here.
I did in one league. I did pick them as my top, as like a top defense. I think it was like the second defense to be taken off the board. I mean, with those names up on the roster, like what do you expect? But I'm definitely eating those right now.
I mean, they still have potential to get it together because they have great talent on that team, on that side of the ball. So, I mean, we'll see. But as of right now, it's not looking good. Yeah, so Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. I know there's no Watkins, Miko Hardman. Just play them. Play them all. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. This is an A1 team, man. What can you do? Play them. I don't care who you're going against. You're playing them. So yeah, that's Kansas City side.
So Buffalo, like the two guys who are at this point pretty much virtually matchup proof is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. You want to get those guys into your lineup. Those are two set it and forget it guys for the rest of the season, in my opinion. The only two people on this team that are matchup proof. So I want to talk a little bit about a friend of mine mentioned to me about Devin Singletary, a work buddy. So he's like, what am I supposed to do with Devin Singletary? Well, whenever you have a running quarterback that's going to take away some of those goal line carries, which Josh Allen is known to do, it actually takes away from the value of whoever's in the backfield. So even up on like the 5-yard line, Josh Allen is a threat to score with his legs there. So it's going to ultimately take away from Devin Singletary. What I would do at this point, if you don't have any other options right now, I know we get into like some like the heavier bye weeks and things like that. Got to leave him up on your bench until you see some sort of consistency there. John Brown is coming back. I think in deeper leagues, he is more so of a flex, but until he shows that he is 100% healthy, I would pretty much stay away from him as well. But the two names that you're going to play in this one, let me see if I missing anyone from that. No. It doesn't look like it. So, yeah, the two names you want to play are Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. And then we're going to get into our other Monday night game, Arizona at Dallas. Oh, boy. Like, this here has fireworks written all over it.
Yes, it does.
All right. Do you want to take Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kyler Murray, considering I am a 3-time and 5 league Kyler Murray owner, and that was a quarterback that I wanted this year, and I got him, and he's been nothing but special. I think in every game he has 20+ points, no matter if it be in PPR or standard scoring. So he has been awesome. He's gonna give you a lot with his legs. So we already know he's a start right here, and I believe the number one wideout right now is DeAndre Hopkins. This guy has a like man, just the percentage of the targets that he's getting is like through the freaking roof, man. I think he had like 17 targets in one game before, which is like absolutely like crazy. So you're definitely gonna play him. I know we mentioned the backfield as well, but I'm really looking for a game that what's his name? I forgot. Dude, he's been just that.
Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake. He's been that underwhelming thus far that I forgot the guy's name. So Kenyon Drake. I want to say this is going to be a game in which he scores a touchdown. I don't know in what way, whether receiving or rushing. I think he can have a solid play in this game. In deeper leagues, Christian Kirk has been coming on slowly but surely. A lot of teams still focus on Hopkins, that Christian Kirk is going to get those. You know what I mean? Those little one-on-one opportunities up on like the outside. But definitely from a fantasy perspective, that's all the guys that you want to, roll with this week.
Well, let me ask you this. Because, Chase Edmonds, their backup running back has, been very effective in their offense to the point where, I feel like he's either I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure his points has either been very close to Drake's or even out at times maybe outscored Drake in a couple of weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, would you consider Chase Edmonds as a flex option?
What I could see, and I mean that's kind of tough. I know that they spent so much time and money invested in Kenyon Drake that I feel like any week they want to be able to get this guy going. This week could be the week, but for lack of like other options at the position, yeah, Edmonds can be a pretty good play. But I'm gonna say this: don't expect that much from him. Like he's gonna be a guy that you're gonna say, okay, maybe he can give me 10 points. Don't expect anything less than that. You know what I mean? It's not gonna. I think Drake has the most upside of the two if he can just get the ball rolling.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So Dallas, as you know, we all know at this point, Dak and that injury.
Ooh, gruesome.
Yeah, man. I think his recovery time 4 to 6 months. They're saying he should be, I guess back on the field by training camp. As far as my feelings about the whole situation, I'm gonna leave that alone because I would go in on Jerry Jones, but nevertheless, we are rolling with Andy Dalton here. He is the quarterback going forward for the Dallas Cowboys. He is a solid to low end QB1 just because of the offensive personnel, weapons on top of weapons. I think they are number one, like overall number one fantasy offense in football. Just because they're always playing from behind. I think only led 6% of the time or something like that. So that's kind of crazy considering all the talent they got. Now Ezekiel Elliott, he actually asked for more of the workload with Dak out. I don't know if we're gonna get that or not, but I do expect Zeke to have to be more productive going forward. I do expect him to eat and eat well. Eat a feasty dinner tonight. Well, tomorrow night rather. He should, because I think Arizona's in the middle of the pack as far as running backs are concerned, and that'll take a lot of burden off of Andy Dalton here because
bingo. There you go.
He's been a solid quarterback in his career, but he hasn't been elite. He hasn't been in that category. He's not Dak Prescott. So I do expect Ezekiel Elliott to get the ball a lot more going forward. The wide receivers, man, you're definitely starting Amari Cooper. He's still feasting out there. CeeDee Lamb, man, I feel like he's a low-end wide receiver 2, maybe even solid wide receiver 2 this week. Amari Cooper, wide receiver 1. Michael Gallup, I don't know what to make of Michael Gallup because they just using him for deep threats right now. That's it. That's basically it. As a home run hitter, but as we know, like last year, before CeeDee Lamb came, like he was a solid wide receiver too. Like we seen him being utilized a lot more, but with CeeDee Lamb here and the way the offense is set up, his productivity is definitely not there. So in deeper leagues, I would say maybe a flex consideration. I would not start him as my wide receiver 1 or 2 by far, not by any means. But they're tight end though. Schultz.
Yep, Schultz.
Yeah, no, he's been really solid. Dude, especially if I'm pretty sure he's rostered in a lot of leagues by now. But I would say for just in general with the way that this season's been, with all the flexibility, all the COVID, all of everything, like you definitely want to have more than one at certain positions that you normally have one. So, like for instance, if you have Baller and you have Schultz, this week, that is a very, very solid backup plan. Just make sure you have flexibility. Schultz is definitely worth starting, in my opinion. Against Arizona, Arizona has notoriously been trash against tight ends. Dating back to last year, they probably still ranked dead last in that regard as far as fantasy points is concerned. So he can have a big game. This can definitely has a very, very great chance of being a shootout. So we might, for real, see some fireworks tomorrow night.
Let me ask you this: who you got winning this game, man?
Whew. Man,
I feel like it can go either way.
I think you're right because it's crazy because like Dallas is like paper champions out here
Yeah.
and not playing anything like the roster they have assembled. Um, you know what? I'm going to pick Dallas to win this game,
Okay.
and I think that's because they probably control the clock more with Dak. I mean, not Dak, Zeke.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. If you know what, I'm gonna go against you just for the sake of going against you, but my gut is saying Dallas, and for that same reason, I think this is a multi TD game for Ezekiel Elliott in order to get Andy Dalton a little bit more established with that offense going forward. I think he's going to take a lot of the load off of him, but I'm just gonna say Arizona by 3, man, just to play opposite sides here.
Hey, fair enough, and I strongly believe Zeke will probably finish this week as the #1 running back.
It's a possibility, man.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. That being said, before we preview Thursday's game and conclude here, just a couple of key notes here. Drew Lock is starting today for the Denver Broncos up against Cam Newton and them boys. Cam Newton is back.
Cam.
So I expect Cam to come back with a vengeance there. Jets and Dolphins. I expect our boy, our favorite guy, Devontae Parker, to have a great game against the Jets there at home.
Yep.
Lions and Jags. Vegas actually has that as a high spread as well. I mean, you can definitely see a lot of Kenny Galladay in that game. Unsung hero James Robinson has been balling out.
Yep.
Ravens and Eagles. I feel like that's an interesting game as well. I can't even think of the guy's name from the Eagles that balled out last week.
Dang it! What's his name? Travis Fulgham.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Like 10 catches. I want to say like 130 something yards receiving. Like he balled out in that very depleted wide receiver core. Like that's worse than the Titans core right now.
Yeah, so the thing about that is like, I think a lot of teams have had the opportunity to key in on Zach Ertz, double teaming him, sometimes even triple teaming him. So someone has to be the beneficiary of that whole thing that they're running with Zach Ertz, and it's been Fulgham. Man, I hope I'm saying his name right, Fulgham. Like he's been very, very solid, man. So over the past couple of weeks, he has been the best receiver, most consistent anyway. And I picked him up in a couple of leagues, man. So just to add a little bit more wide receiver depth with some of the guys that I got out or had out rather. So
right.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
I don't blame you at all, man. Especially in Thursday's night matchup. Just we'll get into that really quick. Just a couple more notable games here. Texans at Titans. That's gonna be an interesting one. Derrick Henry might have a monster game that day. And then my Bears, the Bears at Carolina here. Mike Davis. If you recall, we signed him last year and let him.
Oh man. Okay. Wow.
So that might be a revenge game right there. We signed him to a 3-year deal and let him go after we drafted Montgomery. Yep. So I feel like my team is gonna be in a tough one for that one. And I think there's one more notable here. Rams at Niners. I feel like that's an interesting game, especially since the Niners' defense is not there since they got pummeled last week. That was
God, ridiculous. Didn't Jimmy G get like benched in that game or something like that, or he just got pulled or something? I know.
Yeah, they pulled him for I guess health reasons, just to make sure he
didn't get banged up, right?
Yeah. So I mean, he is starting today. but yeah, like everybody from the Dolphins had fantasy value last week. That was crazy. But yeah, so I guess in regards to this Thursday game, since we won't be on until next Sunday, just a quick preview. All right, New York Giants at the Eagles. All right, I'm gonna go with Philly here.
Okay.
All right, so the Giants, they are one of the bottom worst teams, I guess, as far as their offense is concerned, and which means, I guess, for the Eagles side, Eagles defense, as poor as it has been, may actually force some turnovers here and actually do some things, maybe. So just a streaming option there. Carson Wentz should definitely have a good game, which is kind of rare these days for him. Miles Sanders probably going to be your biggest play here.
I think so.
Giants can't really stop anybody, as we saw last week against the Cowboys. Like, their defense is shot. Greg Ward, I feel like he's a solid play, and your boy Fulgham, is that his name?
Yeah. Fulgham.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect Alshon or Deshaun Jackson may play. Maybe the rookie Rieger might play as well. But if they don't, then Ward and Fulgham are great plays on Thursday night against this Giants team, man. And then Ertz has been a disappointment for a lot of people.
You can say that again.
And I know, shoot, I feel like at one point Goddard was the guy. And I know he's been banged up, and it seemed like it should be the Ertz show, but it has not been there. And you know the crazy thing about it, like last week against your team, I'm sitting here, I was getting ready to post the status, like, so when are we going to start seeing Jalen Hurts? It was almost getting to that point. It was getting that bad. But if just from a fantasy perspective, if Carson Wentz and Ertz cannot get it done this game Thursday, you might want to, like, long term start considering some other options here. That's my opinion.
No, I can see that for sure. So going over to the Giants side, man, it is hard to pick anyone from this team. Let's go with Darius Slayton. I think that's pretty much the only guy who you're gonna play. And again, he's a very good wide receiver. But for this team, they got so many holes, and it's just, man, it's like a wasteland without Saquon Barkley. Like, he's the one that got the offense going. It's like, teams, you really had to account for him. And I just really don't see too many fantasy options in this game going forward. Maybe Daniel Jones can have a capable game against that offense. Like, I don't know. This whole team is in flux right now. Only name that I feel comfortable with, to be completely honest, in this one is Slayton. Like, to be honest, Ingram has been, trust me, I have him in 2 leagues. In 1 league, he's my tight end too. Like, so he's actually my backup tight end. 1 league, he's my main tight end, and I'm not faring too well with playing him. So I need to see more consistency out of any of these players going forward before I am to touch their name.
Gotcha. I think Sterling Shepard might be on his way back. He might actually play today, but regardless, I definitely get what you're coming from. Like, between that offensive line being as bad as it is, we thought they took strides over the offseason. Nope. And Saquon Barkley being out as their security blanket, it's been terrible, man. So
right, and just like, think about it, it's a Thursday night game too, so it's like you're gonna play these and then, play those guys, and there's gonna be other guys who haven't played yet that you can possibly play, or to actually even pick up off the waiver wire. So I would just kind of more so proceed with caution with anyone up on that offense right now.
Understood, man. So, and then just to let you know, there's been no new positive tests for this week, so all games are a go.
Yes.
So yep, everybody prepare for your lineups. Just, we got T-minus a little less than 4 hours until the first game start. So yep, get your lineups together. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us. Social media, obviously on our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, even on Snapchat, YouTube, wherever. Reach out to us. We are here. Any questions for your lineups? Any questions about trade scenarios? Who to pick up from the waiver wire? Who to start? We're here for you. And so, all right, man. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that was a pretty good complete rundown for this week, man. I'm nervous about some of these, fantasy matchups that I got going on, especially all my attention's right now on the 2 leagues that I'm 1-4 in. The other 3 leagues that I'm 4-1 in, I can actually afford to take an L. So I'm definitely flipping back and forth between my 1-4 matchups today.
No, I got you. Like, it's crazy because I'm 1-4 in my work league. And there's a lot of trash talking at work, a lot. And that's the only league I have a bad record in. I feel like I have a great team. My plus minus says I have a great team. I just getting the bad luck of the draw, I suppose. But no, I gotta win. I have to get back at least in the playoff hunt here. So yeah, that's my main focus. And also I got to take down LexCorp in our league, man.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. Man,
he's a tough out, bro. He is a tough out.
I hope he's watching this right now. Alex, I'm coming for you, man. But yeah, man. No, that'll wrap up today. Check out our website, thedestinationfantasy.com, for your favorite apparel. If you want to rep the brand, get you a Destination Fantasy shirt.
Squad.
Hey, look out for flash sales. Black Friday, I know it ain't too far along, but we will have a special sale for that as well. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting. Check us out. This podcast will be up on Apple Pod, Spotify, Google Pod, wherever you get your podcast from shortly after this live stream is done. Once again, for Deshaun, Jamar, thanks, and we will get at you next week.
Peace.